Deadliest catch. The Viking returns. Captain Sig goes to Norway. Deadliest catches. Sig Hansen is returning to his Norwegian roots to fish in the latest Discovery spin-off, The Viking Returns. Why is the F/V Northwestern's captain so keen on returning to where his father was from? We have that answer, as well as the premiere date. Captain Sig Hansen and his co-captain daughter, Mandy Hansen, are heading to Norway in the Deadliest Catch spin-off, The Viking Returns. According to Edo, the two ambitious Hansens are determined to create a fishing empire bigger than their forefathers could ever have imagined. Mandy makes it clear that this is not a trade-off between Alaska and Norway. This is an addition. We didn't come here to trade one location for another. We came here to build something bigger. In the Facebook video preview, we hear Deadliest Catch Captain Sig Hansen say, "What I am doing now is for our family." The video shows him driving to a grave site and then ending up at his father, Sverre Hansen's grave. He reads a letter from his father explaining why he decided to the New World to fish crab, for his family. Therefore, Sig explains that he is doing that very same thing. Captain Sig, who was born with the very Norwegian-sounding name, Sigurd Johnny Hansen, comes from a long line of Norwegian fishermen. Therefore, his return to his family's homeland is important for him during these turbulent times of fishing. He wants his expanding family, which includes Mandy and Clark's baby daughter Sailor, to thrive in the future. His only way to make that happen is to look at more fishing options than just the Bering Sea. Moreover, according to the logline, beginning anew in the land of their ancestors becomes an unexpected journey to rediscover their own heritage and cement the legacy they'll pass down to the next generation of fishermen. Apparently, nothing is stopping Captain Sig. Although just a few years ago, in 2016, Deadliest Catch viewers saw the veteran captain have a heart attack that was called the Widowmaker. This is called the deadliest job for a good reason. Between the long hours, the stressful Bering Sea conditions, and the constant cigarette smoking, this lifestyle certainly took a toll on the charismatic fisherman. However, nothing is stopping Captain Sig from achieving his biggest dreams for his beloved family. When will Discovery premiere their latest spin-off, Deadliest Catch? The Viking Returns? This will be sometime in the fall. Deadliest Catch fans, are you excited about this latest news? Georgia Macatello has several decades of writing experience, including travel writing, tech writing, art history analysis, and now entertainment writing. She loves to share the latest news on rom-coms and mysteries. Deadliest Catch. The Viking Returns. Captain Sig goes to Norway. The Bering Sea is a tempestuous stretch of water where the cold bites, the waves crash like thunder, and the work of crabbing is as perilous as it is lucrative. It's a place where only the toughest survive, both the men and the vessels that endure its fury. But in the world of Deadliest Catch, the rough waters of the North are more than just a job. They're a calling. For Captain Sig Hansen, the weathered, steely-eyed skipper of the Northwestern, this calling has always been more than about catching crabs. It's a family legacy, a tradition, and a deep bond with the sea. But what if there was more to Sig's journey? A story buried in the distant past, something that might help him understand his role as a fisherman and a man. In Deadliest Catch, The Viking Returns, Captain Sig sets out on an epic voyage, not into the icy waters of the Bering Sea, but to the land of his ancestors, Norway, the home of the Vikings. It's a journey not just of discovery, but of reconnection, as Sig traces the roots of his seafaring legacy and attempts to find the true meaning of what it means to be a Viking in the modern world. A Viking legacy. Sig Hansen was born and raised in Seattle, but his family's heritage hails from Norway. His Norwegian grandfather was a fisherman, and Sig's father continued the legacy, passing down the knowledge of the sea to his sons. Sig, along with his brothers, grew up with stories of Nordic exploration, of fearless Viking warriors, and the harsh realities of life on the water. While these stories were passed down over generations, Sig never truly understood their full meaning until he embarked on this journey. When Sig's trip to Norway is first announced, it sparks a sense of nostalgia, not only in Sig, but in his crew and the fans of the show. This isn't just about fishing. It's about exploring who Sig is beneath the surface. The very essence of his being is intertwined with the sea, and it's this connection that drives his curiosity. What does it mean to be part of a people whose ancestors navigated the seas centuries before, whose bloodline contains both the fearlessness of warriors and the cunning of the Viking spirit? Bravery, exploration, resilience has shaped his worldview in ways Sig has never fully acknowledged until now. But can that same spirit guide him into a new era of crabbing? One that blends old-world seafaring traditions with modern-day challenges? That's the essence of Sig's journey, and it's a question that not only defines his trip to Norway, but his legacy as a captain. The Norwegian journey. Upon arriving in Norway, Sig is greeted by the majestic fjords and the chilly Nordic air, which feels strangely familiar to him, like a long-lost part of his soul. He is taken aback by the sheer beauty of the land, with its towering mountains, deep blue waters, and vast, untamed wilderness. There's an immediate connection between Sig and his ancestral land, one that goes beyond the physical. But as much as he's drawn to the landscapes, it's the culture and people that intrigue him. Sig meets with local Norwegians, some of whom share their own fishing traditions, passed down through the generations. He tours Viking villages, where he learns about the ancient methods of seafaring that helped the Vikings conquer new lands. He visits museums filled with Viking artifacts, each piece telling the story of a people who were skilled sailors, merchants, and warriors. Sig is fascinated by the resilience and ingenuity of the Vikings, who, in many ways, paved the way for the modern fisherman. The history of fishing in Norway also comes into focus. Norway's fishing industry, deeply ingrained in the culture, has existed for centuries. Sig visits local fishing villages where the boats used are not so different from the vessels that have plied the waters of the Bering Sea. The same challenges of navigating treacherous waters, catching fish, and surviving the elements are universal, no matter where you are in the world. This exploration of fishing techniques in Norway sparks a sense of reverence in Sig. He's reminded of his own roots and the responsibility he carries as a captain. The time he spends in Norway not only strengthens his understanding of his Viking ancestry, but also brings a renewed sense of purpose to his work on the Northwestern. It's clear that the Vikings were not just fierce warriors, they were also master fishermen, utilizing skills that Sig himself uses to this day. A family affair. Sig's journey is also deeply personal. Throughout the series, the viewer sees the bond between Sig and his family. His brother Edgar, who works alongside him on the Northwestern, is an important part of Sig's world, and the trip to Norway offers an opportunity to reflect on their shared experiences. Edgar's support throughout Sig's journey is evident, and it's clear that the Hansen family's relationship with the sea is more than just a livelihood. It's a cornerstone of their identity. The journey is also a tribute to Sig's father, who passed away several years ago. Sig speaks openly about how his father instilled in him the values of hard work, perseverance, and respect for the sea. The trip to Norway allows Sig to honor his father's memory while deepening his understanding of the traditions that have shaped his own life. The emotional connection to his heritage adds depth to the series, showing that this isn't just an exploration of history. It's a journey of personal healing and growth. Through this emotional landscape, viewers gain a deeper insight into the man behind the captain's chair. Sig is more than just a gruff, weathered fisherman. He's a man of pride, tradition, and history. Someone who feels the weight of his ancestors' legacy on his shoulders, and who carries the burden of leadership with both strength and vulnerability. The Viking spirit throughout the series. Sig's reflections on what it means to be a Viking bring a new dimension to his character. The Vikings were known for their bravery in battle, but they were also explorers, traders, and settlers. This duality, warrior and provider, becomes a central theme in Sig's journey. He begins to realize that being a Viking is not just about brute strength, but about adaptability, resourcefulness, and a deep respect for the natural world. Sig's journey culminates in a symbolic act that ties everything together. He sails a traditional Viking ship across the waters of Norway, feeling the wind in his hair and the salt water on his skin. It's a moment of unity between the past and the present, a recognition of the Viking spirit that runs through his veins. In that moment, Sig becomes not just a fisherman, but a modern-day Viking, one who continues the legacy of those who came before him, while forging his own path on the sea. The Northwestern may be a modern vessel, but Sig's heart beats to the rhythm of ancient waters. The journey to Norway doesn't just deepen his connection to his heritage. It inspires him to embrace the future with the same fearless determination that drove the Vikings of old. Conclusion. Deadliest catch.